Hello everyone at Heroes of Hyrule, and welcome back to another video from me. Apologies for no video last week. Unfortunately my work schedule went completely mad and it was a nightmare, and recording a video was just not possible, so apologies there. And obviously without a midweek update from me, Josh had nothing to reply to, so again it all fell a bit flat last week, and I can't apologise enough for that. So we're trying a new bit of software this end to try and see what we can do, see whether it's better and reduce time editing. So I've spent a bit of pre-work this morning setting up some slides using OBS Studio 18.0.1 on the Mac, for those who want to know. And yeah, we're giving it a go and seeing what we can do. I'm trying to do this in one take, so I will make mistakes and I won't be editing them out. It's a real video from real people. We want to try and start doing things live as much as possible because the after work is so much less. The processing stuff is all handled by YouTube, which is amazing. And as you can see, doing something like this without a script can be quite difficult. I've set up a load of slides, so I know roughly what I'm talking about, and I'm getting used to this software, so I will be clicking as we're going. But luckily you can't see my hands, so you can... What can you see? You can see Sheik is up there. There she is, laying in there, having a good old rest under those heat lamps. She's actually cooling off from the looks of it, so bless her. I will one day do a video of a close-up of her, or even have her with me whilst doing this, but she has claws and she does scratch from time to time. She doesn't mean anything by it, it's just a factor of having a reptile as a pet. So a quick update, and we are getting the competition well underway now. We have made some slight arrangements to make this more quicker for you. So as you can see up on screen, I flashed up a copy of both the amiibo cards which I have with me, which is amazing. Josh brought the other one back today. They're all safe and sound, waiting for their new owner. And how do you do that? So we're doing it, so we'll pick a winner once we get to 100 subscribers, and we will take all of those 100 subscribers as one entry. If you've liked or commented on a video of ours, and there's plenty to look through and comment on, those will also count as additional entries, and everything you do now will automatically be included in our draw when we go up to our next prize, which is at the 500. So that is an update about the competition. I think we did clarify that a bit last week, but I wanted to get a picture of both those images up there. You're going to see less of my face during this show because we're trying this new software and we'll play around with the images we're showing. Eventually we'll move on to add an extra video, but we're playing, and I love playing with new technologies, and that's what got me onto 3D printing. And originally when we did this, I bought myself an ANET A8 from GearBest and had it shipped from China as a kit. Maker's Moves released a video which I do recommend you looking at before ordering a kit. He has better information that is a lot better than what I could give you, but a kit does come with an expectation of you being able to do it, knowing about the electronics slightly, being able to follow instructions. They give you an SD card with a PDF on there with all the instructions step by step. Some are a little bit off because they've changed their motherboards and stuff since then, so it's a case of getting used to it. And I love this printer. Thanks to this printer I was able to give my nephew this Guardian printed one. I think we could do painting on it. I think it would be a good idea to paint it, but we need to spray it with some kind of primer first. Now this one's actually, the legs are specially designed so you can actually rest your Nintendo Switch on this and make it into a holder, and I think that's a great dual purpose. It's nice to have something I can give my nephew that's physical from the game. Because my nephew doesn't get his Switch until October, I printed him one. And as you can see, that is an amazing little print. The Joy-Cons come off. I've printed them additional colours, and we were going to put electrics in it to light it up, but we've had a bit of a hitch with that, so we'll come back to that later. So obviously one of the other things we managed to do with the printer and this was my favourite one, and I apologise for the image first of all, but I wanted to get the image on the screen as big as possible. As you can see, this is a full size Master Sword 3D printed. We printed it in 3 colours over the course of 2 weeks. Some prints were going until 2 o'clock in the morning, mainly the main piece with the detail of the Triforce on there. That was such an amazing print and beyond expectations. To get my printer working like that, we had to do a few modifications, and there's too many to go through in one video, but as you can see, completely different to what the A8 originally looks like to what it now looks like. And as you can see, the spool management has been moved from the side to above, which makes storing the filament one. You can store up to 5 rolls up there, and it just feeds down into the printer. Cable management was another one, so instead of the cables coming from the top down, they now feed through a chain to the left and to the motherboard there. The print bed was flipped 90 degrees, and the cables now go through a chain on its left, so that works a bit better. We've got a strengthener and tightener on the front of the machine to keep that taut so you get better detail. There's strengtheners on the supports just to give it a bit more rigidity, and I hope I just said that right. Obviously I'm doing this in one take, so we've got to get this right first time. And there's other simple things like tool holders on there, and but the main one which you can't see is a cover for the power supply. And since this photo, I've upgraded it again and installed a power monitor, so when you've got it on you can see how much electricity you are using. And for a print that takes about 4 hours, you're going to use about 3 kilowatt hours, which is about 60 pence, depending on where you are and who you're built by. But 60 pence for a print that came from plastic you bought, I think that's an amazing deal. But obviously my A8 can only take me so far, and I want to print bigger things, so as of Saturday last week I sold it. But it's not all sad news. I sold it to a good friend of mine who was looking for a machine, and I wanted to make sure it was going to somebody who could use it to its potential. So I used the money I sold it, added a bit of money to it, and bought myself an upgrade, and I went and got myself a Creality CR10. Now when this arrives, it is a minor kit form because there's only 8 screws to put it together. Most of it's all pre-assembled ready for you. Again, it's moved the spool back to the left hand side, and it's not from the top. It's going to need a few modifications, which is great because I love modding these things, and there's some upgrades and extras you can print for storing your tools in the base, and just strengthening a few cables. But all in all, this is a more rigid, more solid machine. It does the filament for a Bowden tube, which is slightly different to what I have, but it means the hot end's quite light and the motor's separate. But I look forward to a new challenge, a new machine to play with, and I can't wait whatsoever. So the reason why we've gone for a bigger printer is because some of the parts I wanted to make for my next project were just too big for my ANET A8, and that had a build volume of 220mm by 220mm by 240mm. That's a bit mouthful, I will breathe now. But the Creality CR10 has a build volume of 300 by 300 by 400mm, which is huge. Now that's probably a bit excessive for a little hobbyist like myself, but it will be perfect for printing the parts I need to make this. Now isn't that gorgeous? Now although that looks like it's printed in different colours, it's actually a transparent PLA that's been used on this machine. It's got some black PLAs printed that you go on top to give those details, and it has some wicked LED chains on the inside that make it glow up amazingly through a switch and with a rechargeable battery. So I've got all these components to buy yet, but this is what I'm making, and I'm not just making one of them, because obviously there's me and my nephew. I want one of these bad boys, my nephew wants one, and I want to send one to I'm a big fan of the show beat 'em ups, and I want Wood to have one of these swords, and I want him to show it on there. And I'm a Patreon on his channel. I love that channel a lot and spend a lot of time on the community chats. I highly recommend that channel for everybody. It's what gave me the oomph to start and do this with my nephew, and to push for my own channel, Project No Name, which will be coming soon. And wow, so yeah, big shouts out to Wood for giving me the courage and the push to do this. And I encourage everybody to go over to Beat 'em Ups and have a good watch. He has the best videos in my book, with a balanced performance, with an element of fun, which is all Nintendo is about as well. So being pro Nintendo, I must be pro Beat 'em Ups. Hand in hand, go. Okay, so what's coming up over the next month? We have, at the end of the month, on the 29th of August, Rabbids coming out. And we've got my pre-order done. This is a screenshot from the Nintendo store in the UK. Pre-orders are all done, and we will do some live streaming and unboxing of that on the day. And following Rabbids, we will be coming up to the 22nd of September, when we will have the Pokemon DX tournament. And I'm getting a free poster. And we all know where the poster's going. My nephew. So that's what's happening over the next month. We have been lucky to secure a pre-order for the SNES Classic as well. So I appreciate that a lot of people are up in arms because they haven't managed to secure there yet. I'm sure they're going to release more stock and more pre-orders soon. And I wish I could help with that, but unfortunately it's not. The only thing I can do is to record and share my and my nephew's experiences, so you can experience it with us, and that would be lovely if that could happen. So on 29th September, so it's a busy month coming up. Obviously there's not a lot to talk about at the moment because it's just all Splatoon, and every time I get on that subject, all I do is sit there with my head down playing the thing and ignore everything else. So that's what's coming up over the next month. Okay, so I'm going to sign off for now, and I do thank you for watching. We will talk to you again soon. If you're liking this video and like what you're seeing, and if you have any comments, please let us know. Do like the video so we know how you feel about it. Comment any feedback you have or tips you have for OBS Studio. I'll be happy to have those and learn a bit more and do a bit more with OBS. I know most of this has been images and flicking through, but I'm trying and find a way to make this process quicker, give my nephew videos quicker, and I know all this has been done in one take with a few hiccups here and there, but I can talk this way as much as possible, and you can hear my voice drying out. I do need to start taking breaks and getting some drinks in there. So as I said, the competition's on the way. Do make sure you're liking, commenting and subscribing to get your entries into the competition. We will announce that once we get to 100, and we'll do that live as well, so you can see everything's all done properly and the winner is selected through a random choice and not through anything we've done this end. We're very happy that we can do that for you. We've seen the tools that we can do it as well, so we look forward to playing with that technology. If you have any recommendations on what software we should try next, do let us know. We've currently been doing our movie editing in iMovie, which is great for what we've been doing, and we're trying out OBS. We've been using OBS Studio for doing our live streams, and now we're obviously adding in some recording stuff so I can get these straight onto YouTube quicker, because after I've done this and click stop recording, I can just upload it. So do get in touch. If you want to chat to me about anything in this video, or anything Nintendo related, or anything about Project No Name, my email address is darren@projectnoname.co.uk. I'm happy to talk to anybody, and I'll help anybody where I can. So from me, from the Heroes of Hyrule, thank you very much for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.